Hey, and welcome to Weekly Tips number 2. So, there's a lot to cover today, and this session is in 3 parts. First up, I'm going to answer some questions that were asked. Second up, I will give you a couple of brief tips on raising your endorphin levels. More about that later. And quite importantly, I'm going to talk to you today about magnesium, vitamin D, key supplements that may support your nervous system, decrease anxiety and depression, but there's caveats. So listen up. During this time, I'd love you to comment, #replay. Let me know that you're listening. Tell me what you get out of this. Ask more questions because I will respond in the next video. And go ahead and let me know what strategy or strategies that you take from today and that you implement. Okay? So when I answer questions, I will give an array of options. And as you listen, I want you to understand it's not the be-all and end-all. It's not a total response or personalized. But my aim is to give you the valuable info that you can make notes from. So while we're starting, have a pen, paper handy, and make notes and select what you like, what you think that can work for you or you can implement into your daily routine. And if you'd like it more personalized, please, let's chat one-on-one. I have a 30-minute free call available to you in this group in which the information and the time we spend together is to provide support and aid you into your journey towards inner peace. Okay? All right. So let's start with the first question that I was asked. And that was, let me see, I want to read it properly. How can I motivate myself to get out of the bed and the house? I just can't get myself to do anything. Okay. So I bet many of you can relate to feeling this way. Remember, take notes. Here are some strategies. Establish a simple morning routine. It might be a small task. You can think about it now while we're here, or maybe of an evening, sit down with a piece of paper and just come up with a small task. It might be make the bed, have a glass of water, and you get out of bed to do that, to make your bed. Maybe you make it look pretty with nice pillows, or you like a nice, tucked in sheets on the side. Go and have that glass of water. Number one, your body will thank you for a glass of water first thing in the morning, but there will be a sense of accomplishment early in the day. So start with just one task and gradually add more and more small, simple tasks as you feel comfortable. So set small, achievable goals. For those with anxiety, big goals can feel really overwhelming. And if you break the day into manageable parts, that really helps. So you might separate you might have a piece of paper and you might put on it 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. And then you might have 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. And break it up into, 4 parts. And write some small tasks under each, whether it's making your bed in the morning, glass of water. In the afternoon, you might have on there, sit in the sunlight for 10 minutes. And as you fill up each portion of the day, I recommend 4 parts for the day, or 5 parts if you do it, if you're up from 7 until maybe 10 at night, split it up into 5 parts. And it could be, prepare breakfast, prepare lunch, prepare dinner, small tasks, things that you do on a regular basis, but list them out. There's such a sense of achievement that comes from being able to tick them off, whether it's your shower, have a shower, have that glass of water, have another glass of water. So that's all around setting small, achievable goals. Start with a morning goal. Don't worry about splitting the day up at first. And as you get comfortable with those things in the morning, break your day up and set small goals in each part of the day. There's also somatic techniques, and incorporating some of these practices to calm the body first thing in the morning can reset your vagus nerve, which, once done, reduces feelings of dread or anxiety. Gentle stretches, breathing exercises, or even placing your feet on the floor and grounding your body through awareness, feeling the floor beneath your feet, wiggle your toes, can often make getting up more approachable. Another suggestion is to create a soothing morning environment. So sensory-based strategies like soft lighting, playing calming music, have something that you like, find something that you like and have it ready to play. Or set up an oil diffuser with a fragrance that you find calming. All of these things can help create a really peaceful environment so that you look forward to waking up in the morning. And this can ease the transition from sleep to wakefulness, reducing anxiety. My next strategy is to shift your focus away from perfectionism. Many of you who suffer with anxiety really struggle with perfectionism, which can cause dread around the day ahead. The goal is not to have a perfect day, but to engage with the day at your own pace. And if you can have this shift in your mindset, this can help to alleviate some pressure and make it easier for you to start your day. Now, for those of you who come into my rooms and work with me face to face, you know that I use PEMF or red light therapy. PEMF is pulsed electromagnetic frequency or red light therapy. And if you want to know where somewhere close to you that uses these therapies, you and I can liaise, and if I know your location, I'll help you to find someone close to you. But if you know these are available to you, or there are even small home devices of red light therapy that can be used, and it helps to energize the body and improve your mood. These therapies can be a really gentle way to start your day and help you to feel more physically prepared to get moving. So we can talk more about that at another time. Another strategy for you is to visualize success. So I encourage you, the night before, take some time to visualize yourself waking up and having a productive day. Whether you do set up your calming music, imagine yourself, visualize yourself waking up and you hear the beautiful music and you ground your feet. So a mix of all of these suggestions. Visualization can really make the act of getting up feel more achievable, and it can mentally prepare you for the day ahead. Another strategy is accountability and positive reinforcement. So use a support system. If you can get a text or a call, a phone call from a loved one, an accountability partner, or a therapist to check in on you, this can be motivating. Maybe you need to replay this as a check-in. This is your check-in. So positive reinforcement through rewarding small successes can help encourage progress. Now, remember, if we had a consult together, I would help you to find the root cause. And if anxiety about your day is keeping you in bed, I would explore with you what specifically you're dreading. We would pinpoint the exact worries and work through them in a private session. And this can relieve the paralysis that keeps you in bed. And my last tip for this question is to consider nutrition and hydration. So a big part of my practice is about nutrition, and poor diet and dehydration can exacerbate fatigue and anxiety. So I suggest that you have a glass of water, you drink water first thing in the morning, and explore easy, nutritious options that support energy and mental clarity. You can pre-make it the night before so that it's ready. Okay, so all of these strategies can help provide a blend of physical, mental, and emotional support for you to start your mornings with more ease and less anxiety. Again, the personal call is available to each of you. And if you can't do that, listen to this again and again. Feel free to do so. Comment with your questions, and I will respond in next week's weekly tips. All right, so let's just see. I have got here my second question. And I want to just bring that in front of me. I have written it down and forgot to get it on. Okay, here we go. Right, now, this second question came in, says, how do I navigate the balance of work and my personal life when I'm so stressed and anxiety plagues my mind? So in short, the question was how to navigate the balance of my work and personal life. That is a great question. And I have some strategies for you. Number one is for you to set clear boundaries. Boundaries are essential for separating work and personal life. You need to set physical, emotional, and time-related boundaries, which can include work hours, so that you establish a strict start and end time to your workday and stick to it. Your workspace, if possible, or depending on where you work from, dedicate a specific area for work and avoid working from personal spaces like your bedroom or the living room. Then mental detachment. So you can practice mentally shutting off work at the end of the day by using rituals like closing the laptop, putting it in your bag, or stepping outside at the end of the workday. That's if you work from home, for example. If you're in a workplace, literally tidying up the paperwork on your desk, putting things away in the drawers, locking the drawer, put the key in your bag, whatever your personal situation is, but shutting down, closing, turning off your computer is a real ritual. Have a ritual where everything's done. You might wipe down your desk and have it all clean, ready for the next day or the next time that you're at work. So there's that ritual around detaching. Another option is really time management techniques. So many people feel overwhelmed by not having enough time for both work and personal activities. And that can exacerbate anxiety. So time management strategies, which are time blocking, so setting specific times for work tasks, for breaks, and personal activities, and sticking to it. There's a technique called the Pomodoro technique. So this encourages work in focused intervals, say, for example, 25 minutes, with short breaks in between, helps reduce burnout, and it allows your personal life to be a priority. And then there's prioritization. At the start of your day, really focus on what truly needs to get done versus what can wait, and list it. Okay, so there needs to be a process whereby you identify the most pressing tasks. Okay, the most important, not necessarily the most urgent. Then I would also suggest that you schedule personal time. So prioritizing self-care. For those of you who've been in the group for a while, you know that I talk a lot about self-care and personal time. Schedule it in, just as you do a work meeting or an appointment. Plan activities that you enjoy, whether it's spending time with family or friends or engaging in hobbies or exercise. Take on board some relaxation techniques that really nourish your mental and physical health. Now, remember, I'm answering this question, giving you a myriad of techniques. The answer is not to implement them all at once, or even all at any time, but to cherry pick those that click with you, write them down, and start to implement one or two. It could be that over a week or 2 weeks that you then come back to this video and implement more. So I'll continue on. There's lots of options for this one. I would suggest that you practice mindfulness and presence. Having anxiety often leads you to feeling like you're pulled in multiple directions. Yeah? If you can relate to that, let me know. Even when we're physically not. Mindfulness techniques help you to stay in the moment. Now, if you like the idea of mindfulness, let me know, and maybe I'll take us through some in next week or the week after's tips. So mindfulness can be very simple, very easy. It's not meditation, okay? And you can do it virtually anytime, any place. So again, you might use somatic practices to release stress, whether it's body scanning or vagus nerve exercises, or even gentle movement. All of these can help to regulate the nervous system and reduce the buildup of stress. And that stress, whether it builds up from work and spills over into personal life or vice versa. By processing these feelings physically, you're able to release tension and be more present in the here and now in your personal life, and even be more present in your work life. Focus on the task at hand, get it done. Make time for your personal life. You could create a transition ritual. So if, for example, you are working at home, it can be really difficult to shift from work mode to personal life mode. A transitional ritual might be something like taking a walk after work, or practicing some mindfulness or meditation practice, or changing into different clothes. Anything that really signals a shift, a change from work to personal life can really aid you to decompress. Another strategy would be to say no to overcommitment. Anxiety can often lead you to people-pleasing behavior. And this may mean that you take on more than you can handle. There comes a time when you need to learn how to say no without guilt. So evaluate your workload, your social obligations, and really look at them and consider whether each one is truly necessary or beneficial. Another strategy, I've got a few more. Another strategy is to delegate when possible, whether it's at work, at home, home tasks, or work tasks. Recognize that there are tasks that you do not have to do on your own. Whether it is sharing those household responsibilities or delegating work tasks. Reduce the number of personal responsibilities. This can create a better balance and reduce anxiety. Another strategy that you would likely need to learn is to recognize symptoms or the early signs of burnout. If you're physically exhausted, if you're irritable, if you have trouble sleeping, or if you've lost interest in activities, spotting these signs can help to give you the early warning sign, if you like, to adjust them. What we don't want is for your work-life balance to become unmanageable. I'd like you to seek support when needed. Lean on a support system. Create a support system, whether it's a therapist, friends, family. If you're feeling overwhelmed by work or personal obligations, regular therapy sessions can really provide you the ability to reframe these challenges that you're having in a healthy manner. And the last tip I would have for you, it's not always about how much time that you spend at work or in your personal life, but rather the quality of the time. So be fully present when you're spending time with loved ones, or you're engaging in your hobbies or resting. Make it quality. And like I said before, even at work, when you're focused on a task or you've got a task to do, just focus on that task. Look at that task, and that's the one to get done now. By giving it your full attention, you will do it well. You'll do it quicker. Multitasking is not a thing, not a good thing. Okay. All right. I think I have given you so many strategies, and that was just 2 questions that I was asked this week. That's part 1 of today's session. So I might have to break this up and come back in I'll finish. I tell you what, I'll finish today on the tips to raise endorphins. I've got a couple of here. Okay, so endorphins. Now, these are natural pain and stress fighters. They alleviate depression, reduce stress and anxiety, and can boost your self-esteem. And I've got a couple of natural ways to boost yours. And I've called it movie magic. So what we know, here's what we know. Endorphins can be activated by watching a dramatic movie or a TV show. Did you know that your brain chemistry responds to the on-screen emotions by releasing endorphins, the same way it would if we were in some sort of physical pain ourselves? It sounds counterintuitive, but try putting on your favorite tearjerker, the one that always makes you cry. If you're in need of a pick-me-up, really, the endorphin rush afterwards could actually leave you feeling quite revived. That's my tip, movie magic. And the second tip is take a breath. I've mentioned that a little bit. Is what we do know is that most adults take short, shallow breaths, and we breathe from the chest. But deep breathing from your diaphragm, so from the belly breath is what you should see going up and down. Deep breathing interrupts the body's stress response and releases endorphins into your body. So here's what to do. Breathe in from your belly for 5 seconds and breathe out for 5 seconds. Do that several times over. Do it for 1 minute. It sends a signal to your brain to release endorphins and serotonin and dopamine. How's that for handy natural tips to raise your endorphins today? All right, so for part 3 of today's session on magnesium and vitamin D3, key minerals and vitamins, I am going to make a part 2 of weekly session so that it's not too long for you to watch. Okay, so I will be back shortly with part 2.